On today's episode, we're going to review a portfolio that has some really beautiful elements to it, but in the end of the day, leaves me confused. So hopefully there'll be things you can take away and ideas that you can implement, but also perhaps things to avoid. Let's rock and roll. Hey designer friends, what is up? My name is Ron Segal. Welcome back to Flux, where we talk about design and freelancing. And today, a portfolio review of a designer and a creative developer from New York City. Let's just get started and dive right into it. So let me refresh this just so that you can see the intro animation that we've got here. This is the website of a designer and developer called Henry Desroche. I'm probably mispronouncing the name, so sorry about that. Now we land into this, we have here soon, and then blurred a little bit, you will have only a memory of this moment. Now, to be honest, I am not really sure what we are seeing right now, and I'm scrolling here and I'm seeing this chair, but there's something about this that intrigues me. There's something here that kind of like triggers an emotion for me. First of all, I like this font. I like the half blurred, like it's behind some glass. And I like that there's a message here. You will only have a memory of this moment that is a little bit vague. It's also a little bit blurred, but it's still readable. So there's something intriguing here. But then I'm started thinking about, what is this website? Like what am I seeing here? And this is where things get a little bit confusing. I look at the top left where usually I see a logo or the name of the website, and I see really small, FW21, which I don't know what it stands for, and it says you're already here. All right. Then I see work, writing, and I see a song probably playing from Spotify. Still pretty much vague. I don't really know. I mean, work can be a lot of things. Can be photography, architecture, design, I don't know. Writing also can be a lot of things. So I'm still not really sure where I'm at. And these are kind of like the first places that I look for information. Then here at the bottom, I see this is the personal site and portfolio of New York City-based creative technologist, and then Henry Desroche here. So it really took me a lot of time to figure out, like, where even am I? What is this website? There's no clear kind of like, I say a lot that in the first probably 10 seconds of a website, you really want to clarify, like, what is this? Who owns this website? And why should I even stay here? And here, this is really not clear. Obviously, there's not even kind of like a value proposition or a call to action, which not necessarily you have to have them, but at least a little bit of clarity. All right, so this is like the first kind of confusing thing. I'm starting to scroll down. Again, by the way, I still don't know who this image is. Is this a work that he did? Is this like, what is this image? It's pretty cool and I love it and it's intriguing, but I don't know, is that a work that he did? I don't know. And now I get here, and first time I scrolled here, I wrote, I selected works. And then I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And then I met, oh, maybe it's like a Roman #1, and then below maybe there's like Roman #2. Oh yeah, that's it. Now, again, this is something that is a little bit confusing because, because this font looks like this Roman number, and I haven't been set up in an expectation, like if there was kind of a menu where I could see he's using Roman numbers, 1, 2, 3 for the sections of the website, that would make sense. But in kind of like, it looks like in a sentence, I actually read here, I selected work. So again, a little bit confusing, could be solved in multiple ways, but let's go. So we have here some works, and he's using this kind of like overlay with an image, which we have seen, it's quite popular, I think, in the recent year, this kind of an interaction where you hover over a project, you see a little bit of an image from it. And he also states like the date and what he did, design and development. So that looks pretty cool, and we'll click one of them in a second. Then he's got like additional works here. Here there's no hover information on these. And then we get to the second section, which says #2, about. We have this, I actually love this image. It shows a lot of style, and it also says, I'll log off when I'm dead, which immediately made me laugh. And so I think this is really a great, beautiful visual to give a lot of his personality. You can really see by the way he's dressed, by the way he's sitting, by the way, with the background, by the fact that he's not looking at the camera. You can tell a lot about who this person is and about his vibe and about, his personality. And I love this because I think when you have something like a personal website, you do want to convey who you are. And I think this element here does a wonderful work doing that. Creative developer, currently based in New York City, really into CSS animation interaction and deleting code. We have here another one, pretty similar. And then availability, always links to everything. By the way, I want to say something about this availability, which I have seen in multiple portfolios. Says, I'm always looking for cool new projects and collaboration. Reach out and touch faith. Let's get some cool websites going. It's great, right? This is a personal website. You want to get some freelance work. This is great. But however, I personally believe that if you want to set up expectation of like, I'm a highly valuable creative, you don't want to say, I'm always available. Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to hit me up. Probably you want to convey probably the opposite, which is I'm working on really interesting stuff right now. However, if you've got work that we should consider talking about, reach out and we can find perhaps a time to work on. It's just a different framing of how people contact you, or what do they think about you. If they think you're sitting home bored all the time, that doesn't set up an expectation of like a highly valuable professional, successful professional. Because if you're successful, you're probably busy and fully booked, right? And that's what people want to work with, the fully booked people rather with the bored people. Anyway, it's a small point, but I've seen this multiple times and I thought to mention this. Recognition and honors, that's awesome. That's always great for social proof. And then writing. Now is another weird things, because I'm trying to scroll down here and this is just the end of the website. Now previously I've been set up in a kind of an expectation where I see the title, right, selected works, and then below it there'll be the section with selected works, right, and then section number 2 about, and then the content below it. But when I get to the third section, no, there is no list of writings below this. I'm expected to actually click this to get into a different page where he will show me the writing. Now, I'm not saying this is necessarily a bad thing or you shouldn't do it. It's just that the expectation was set that I will have the content below the actual section, and I don't see a reason why you can't put at least the top 5 or 10 pieces that you wrote right here, just like you did with the works here. So again, there's a lot of things here that I find a little bit confusing. I want to go through one of the works as well. So here's an example of a case study. This one is for Frontier Label. He mentioned here that he worked on the brand identity and web design. Now I'm going through this case study and I'm going to quite fast scroll through this. One thing that you'll be able to see is this is a super text heavy case study with some kind of technical screenshots. In this case, I guess he worked on a design system, and then TLDR here, and then basically it's over. Now, I have to say that if you are a designer or even a creative developer and you're creating a case study, I know you did a lot of work that you want to explain about, but we are visual people. Both, you are a visual person and we are a visual person who are hiring you, and we want to see stuff with our eyes. And I think that I would rank this like 90% text, 10% imagery, and I would most likely flip that around, not necessarily 90% visual, 10%, but maybe 70-30 or something like this. Remember, people on the internet, they skim. There's no real even use. Even if you want to use a lot of text, I would use something like title or subtitles, like what we call lead, in order to lead people inside with some kind of a small title to lead them through this. Because when I see just like 3 big paragraphs, or here 3 huge paragraphs, when I'm scrolling through a portfolio website and I want to get through a lot of work, this is overwhelming to read, and it's probably not that useful. So I'm not saying remove all that text, but you can make it way more accessible and useful if you are going to use more leads, more headings, better headings, and then more imagery to kind of break down and make it easier for me to skim. All right. I think that those are my thoughts about Henry's website. As I've mentioned, there's a lot of things that I like here. You can definitely see that Henry is a very talented person, both in his design sensibilities in terms of the typography, layout, and interactions that we have here, and also with the animation and interaction. So he's definitely a great developer as well. However, in terms of user experience and my experience checking out this website, I think there were things here that got me confusing and could easily have been avoided. I want to know what you thought about this website here in the comments, so let me know, and also submit your website so that we can review them on a further episode. If you're not, subscribe. Come on, subscribe and like this video so YouTube knows to show you more great web design videos. I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.